talk about the Sixers Celtics game 7 that just went down a couple of days ago. Tatum went absolutely fucking nuts. There was some doubts
about his clutch, his X factor.
Yeah, there was some doubts
because you can't post Kobe Bryant text messages and then come out and shit the bed in a game 7. Right? You can't do that.
Sometimes it just takes a little bit of animosity to bring out the dog in you. I know I posted when he was 1 for 14 in game 6, down 6.
Yeah.
Right before the fourth quarter started, I was making fun of him too. And then fourth quarter, game 6, puts on a fucking masterpiece of 16 points in the fourth. 4 threes, I want to say, near. Yep. Ridiculous.
And then shoots 60% from deep in game 7, 51 points. An NBA high. A history right there. So, I mean, I guess shout out to Jason Tatum because he finally showed up when it really, really mattered. And Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, one thing I want to talk about, they are playing the Miami Heat. They're minus 550 this series. That's
interesting.
That's a big margin.
And I think that's great value for the Miami Heat, by the way. If anybody's going to bet on that, I would bet the value. Obviously, Miami plus 550 is nothing to ever sleep on with the Heat.
No, not with what we've seen.
Shit ain't sweet with the Heat. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Unfortunately, I thought it was. I thought this was the season considering, Oladipo's not there. Tyler Hero is not there, was not there. I thought that was the opportunity for the Knicks to take that series. And, I mean, Miami just shut us right up with 9 undrafted players on that squad. Tom Thibodeau just got coached in an entire series once again.
Yeah, so let's spin back to the Sixers. So Doc Rivers got fired. Has that been a long time coming, or
Doc stinks?
Yeah, overrated.
Doc stink. Spoelstra is one of them. Spoelstra is one of them. He's a fantastic coach. Doc Rivers, not nearly. I don't think Doc Rivers could, kiss the feet of Eric Spoelstra. Doc is looking to be one of those guys, but he just goes to these teams and he doesn't elevate anybody on the team. He has these stars, and it's just like if the stars don't do exactly what they're supposed to do, it is what it is. Doc players.
I don't even think he draws up plays, bro.
No, he doesn't.
I don't even think he does that.
More effort, less turnovers, make your free throws, and get out there and play some ball.
Doc is one of the most overrated coaches ever. Yeah, but they love that Celtics 2008, championship.
That carried him for a while, that's for sure.
It carried his whole coaching career.
It carried him over to the Clippers.
Yeah. Oh,
he did a shit job with that Clippers team. That Clippers team gave him a good name too, because that team was fucking stacked. They have Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Caron Butler. They had a little. Yeah, they had a squad, bro. They had a squad. And they could have won a championship with that team too, and he did it.
Leads. That shit's crazy to me.
He's a master of getting out in the second round.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Joel Embiid, another master of getting out in the second round.
Pussy, bro.
Whoa, we need some accountability for Joel Embiid.
No accountability on his part. Those teammates under the bus every playoff series.
He said, "Me and James can't do it ourselves."
Well, first of all, you and James are the reason you lost Game 7. Yeah. What did they go for combined? Probably what? 30%, 40%? Terrible. It was terrible. You got 15 points and 9 points. Yeah. So what's that? 25 points combined between the both of them? You're not going to win a Game 7 against Boston with 25 combined points between Joel Embiid and James Harden. Are you shitting me?
No. And I just want to say there was a FanDuel boost that said not James Harden. The FanDuel boost said Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum to combine for 70-plus points.
What they get?
69.
Yo, FanDuel knows what they're doing, bro. Like, that's so bad.
The script is scripted.
It was very close to 69 if it wasn't. Joe, how many did you say Embiid had?
15 points.
Oh, so it was 66. Tough.
Very tough.
Very tough. But imagine that should be a cash. You know what I mean? That's a green bean in my head.
Supposed to be.
And that's a good point, JB. Embiid's stats do slice at half in the playoffs.
We talked about
9 points diff.
Bro, in the Facebook group, that is the biggest margin in a drop-off by an MVP in the playoffs in NBA history. You can't have that. You simply can't have your MVP not show up.
Well, you got to think about this. Most of the points come from the free throw line. So in the playoffs, they don't give them that call. They're not going to
give them that.
Then are you really the most valuable player in the league? Let's
He
talk.
should have never said
Like,
he was the
come
best
on.
player in the league after he fucking beat Boston.
Well, he had the stats, and the stat guys are always going to be lenient towards, I guess, Jokic, but like, even though
that pussy need to stop getting hurt every fucking playoffs. It's that simple. That can't be the reason every time they start losing, they say, oh, well, he's been injured the whole playoffs. No, that has to stop.
Yeah, we can't.
He gets injured every playoffs, too, by the way. All 3 of these years where they gotten out in the second round, there was a point in time where he was hurt for 1 or 2 games. And that's not it.
Brittle bone, bitch.
You can't do that and expect to say you deserve the MVP.
Do you blow up the ship if you're the Sixers, or do you run it back with another coach? And if so, who? I really don't know, because like the Sixers, I said it last episode regarding the Bucks. How much better can the Sixers really get right now? Right? Like the process is out the window. You're just basically dealing with the scraps of what the process left you, which was Joel Embiid, maybe Tyrese Maxey, if you want to consider that the end of the process. But regardless, Harden,
process,
sure, yeah, but like, are you even going to retain Harden? You know, he's got eyes on Houston. He loves the strip clubs out there. It is what it is. He's got that connection. So what
Phoenix
are we really working
with
here?
He's looking at Phoenix hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
go get value for some.
This is what I would.
For Embiid.
This is what I would do personally if I am the Sixers. Okay, if I am the Sixers, I am going to try and find a team this offseason that is willing to take Tobias Harris on a 1-year cap casualty deal. Okay, and figure out, send him a first rounder too. I don't give a fuck. Figure it out, because guess what? He's making $39 million next year, and if he's on the fucking books, you're cooked next year. You might as well just say fucking forget about it. Okay, figure out a way. He has 1 year left. There might be a team that needs to fucking clear up space for the next year. Well, I don't know who. I'm not speculating, but that's what the Sixers need to target, and they need to figure out what the fuck they're going to do with James Harden. Are you going to bring him back next year? I mean, he has some great games, but just like every other year with James Harden, sometimes he doesn't show up in a couple of games either. And look, Game 7, he doesn't show up when he's supposed to.
Yeah, no,
and that's what fucks it up.
He fooled everybody with that one performance. Everybody bought in on him, and they thought that he was going to show out.
Y'all was talking nasty about James Harden too. I ain't gonna fucking forget about it. Y'all was talking crazy.
Clay still isn't bad.
I'm still wrong about Clay, but y'all still was talking nasty about James Harden though.
He's still a top 5 point guard in the league.
What way? I still think he's better than AI. So I don't. Y'all live off the AI.
Too,
one, he lost in the finals.
AI. Look, James Harden never carried his team to the finals. Never once.
AI. So AI did it and lost and won 1 game against Shaq.
Who cares? It was fucking Kobe Shaq. All right. Fucking please. And he had Eric McKee was his number 2. Fuck out of here, please.
Eric Snow, Aaron McKee.
Yeah. Come on, Eric Snow, bro. Fucking old ass Dikembe Mutombo.
You want me to have
the fuck out of here?
I don't care about
out of here.
Listen,
I don't care about none of that.
We just have.
No. Well, I'm sorry. There was people saying James Harden over Dwayne Wade.
Oh yeah, that was
there was people saying that, and that's where the problem comes. I'm not beefing over AI. I'm really beefing over niggas that's talking about James Harden over Dwayne Wade?
Nah, you need a championship. Like, you need at least one ring in order to do that. I mean,
if
Harden
he had a ring,
the MVPs.
I would say that, though.
Yeah, Harden has the MVPs. Now we need the big hardware now. So I think the Sixers have an issue, and that is being absolute mid in the NBA. And I don't just mean that they're mid because we talked about, the Knicks made the second round, you're not a mid team. The future of the Sixers is just looking like that's going to make them mid. You know what I mean? They're stuck in purgatory, and that's the worst spot to be in
Harris
the NBA.
Hell. That's what they're in right now.
They are literally, because you're not in a lottery pick scenario where you could get a young star, and you don't have any cap flexibility, obviously, with a guy like Tobias Harris on your roster. So what are we really doing here? How much better can the Sixers get than this Harden-Embiid duo with Tyrese Maxey as the third player?
I think they need to go around like Maxey.
I don't know. It starts with their coaching decision, though. Who do you think they're going to get? I think Monty Williams would be a very smart decision on their end to do. Budenholzer as well.
I think Budenholzer is the best option.
But it still all rotates back to Embiid getting hurt in the play. Like,
it does.
It doesn't matter what coach he has. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Bud isn't giving you 48 minutes. You know,
yeah, he can't get hurt like he gets hurt in the playoffs. I don't care about the regular season shit. And y'all need to stop saying the MVP doesn't matter when you're in the playoffs because you're doing it for everybody else. When it comes to Embiid,
Well, he would be the only, if he was to say retire today, which obviously he's not, but he would be the only MVP in NBA history to never reach the conference finals. That's a nasty bag.
That's a very nasty bag.
How can you, are you really an MVP caliber play? In the group of these other MVPs, if you can't get your team past the second round?
Joel Embiid is one of the most dominant centers in damn near the history of the NBA. But don't get me.
What you mean?
Top 5. He's up there.
Top 5 what?
Centers as offensive centers. Yeah.
Ever?
Wait, we talked about how stacked that list was.
Yeah. Wait, now I'm thinking about it. That's kind of crazy.
Because we said,
I'm gonna fall back on that, but I will say
we said if Jokic got a ring, would that make him top 5? And then we brought up, all these insane centers. The centers run deep in NBA history.
They do run deep because that was the original.
Because even 5
NBA
has
position.
2-3 rings. You know what I mean? The 5th guy is who?
But he's dominant though. We're not gonna
off the top of the head, Shaq, Kareem, Wilt, Bill Russell. That's just
he's a PF.
David Robinson.
Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight. Yeah, David Robinson. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot.
Power forward.
Hakeem's a power forward.
Yeah, but it's crazy. It's crazy.
Nah, back to my point is Joel Embiid. He can't be considered one of these top guys without a ring. One,
yep.
2, putting it on his back the whole time without getting hurt and putting up 48 minutes and like we said, he's a regular season guy. He flops, he gets fouls, a lot of his game comes from the free throw line.
Well, you talked about how basically he needs to be that guy to carry them. And isn't it funny how the disparity between him and Jimmy Butler is exactly that? 2 guys that had the opportunity to play together and it didn't work out. Why? Because Jimmy tries to pull the best out of his guys. And how can you do that when he's just constantly shitting the bed in the playoffs?
I'm
going to tell you why.
They liked each other, though. I'm going
to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why Jimmy left. Jimmy has to be the number 1. Wherever
Tobias
he's at.
Harris over me.
It was
literally because of Tobias Harris. They kept Tobias. They wanted to keep Tobias Harris.
Okay, but Jimmy Butler was still going to go to Miami, though. He wanted to go to Miami.
He had his eyes set.
He was set on Miami. There was really nothing the Philly could have did to
the whole Rachel Nichols, bro. He went to her and was like, "I'm going to Miami." That was 2 weeks before free agency.
I love Jimmy like the next person, but I don't think he's like a true number 1.
Yes, what? Yes, he is.
I didn't think so too.
I don't think
and then he just tore us to pieces.
Playoff time.
We'll see, bro.
That's all that matters.
We'll see. He said it. Jimmy Butler said it today. Their window is right now. This is their best opportunity. He feels that the Miami Heat have to make the finals and win a championship.